53 is the mark.
From the gun, it's Allen. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, D.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. On 1st down, Wakefield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Sexton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing on 1st down. Sexton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this 1st half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Sexton. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Seibert on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Browns 14, Bills nothing. Austin Seibert to kick off for Cleveland.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go, G.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action. Sexton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Looking to throw. Sexton. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
To throw on 3rd down. Sexton. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Von Miller in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
So, we get slap happy up here sometimes. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish. And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen operating from the gun. He's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. And the grab by Croft. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ben Gideon just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Sexton. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Sexton. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13.
X3, 218, chopper.
On play action, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Back.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Matt Bosher now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
We own them. 58's the money. 58's the money. Here we go. And 58 is the money.
2nd and 3. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Get that ball. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check safety. Check safety.
Now Allen to throw. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Check, check. 40's mine. 40's a mine. 40's a mine. Check, 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 check. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Hold on. Switch it.
Allen throwing on 3rd and long. That's complete to Sharp. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll run on 1st down. Wakefield. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
1st down, Cleveland.
Man, I got you. Man.
Off the play fake. Sexton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Milano. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To throw on 3rd down, Sexton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Tight dog. Out. Wide. Get wide.
Allen. And the pressure gets to him again. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Undercrush.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Allen. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wakefield. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Sexton. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
We got this.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They run again with Walker. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
On third down, it's Walker. And he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Allen going to go on fourth down. And that's complete to Croft. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Allen is going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Two-jet bombers. Two-jet bombers. Alert, alert, alert.
Now Allen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Jalen Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen now looks to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. T.J. Green with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Wakefield. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check curls, check curls, check.
On 2nd down now, Wakefield. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. On the base. 49. Yeah, I got you.
On 3rd down, Wakefield. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they...
Cooking up gourmet